Overcast day at Cardinia Park and a big crowd as you'd expect. The Cats are coming onto the ground now, Sydney out for some time. There they are, A-Day. Gary Ablett set to become the oldest man to kick a century. A sense of occasion, the century beckons.
Round 17, 1995. Took 2 goes.
Yeah, it was a cold winter's day, and of course we obviously knew that Gary only had 3 goals to get his 100th.
It would have been a normal type build-up, but there would have been a lot more talk around Gary bringing up the 100 at home, but given he was the captain as well.
We knew there was going to be a big crowd, which it always was at Cardinia Park. Of course, the anticipation was extremely high every time Gary went near the ball, and it was almost like a countdown was on.
I just recall, travelling down the bus, and there was a lot of publicity about Gary needing 3 to kick his 100 goal, and I knew I was going to play on him, and it was a bit of a challenge for me. He kicked 14 on me one day, so I knew he was probably going to get his 3 that day.
So Lee Tudor and I both were laughing about it before the game. We'd love to be the one that kicked it to Gary when he kicked his 100, because even though we played with him, we were pretty much in awe of him still.
Brown, who was able to get the crumbs, knocked on by Brewer brilliantly. Pickering inside the centre square. Ablett once more.
Now is he going to allow for the breeze, Ablett?
Normally at home, or normally any ground, he was a pretty good set shot.
But the problem was that the crowd were already on the ground.
Stay off the ground, come on. The goal hasn't been kicked. Back off right now.
Of course, as you get people running onto the ground, then other people see it, and then some people think, oh, geez, I can run on, and there's already a few thousand people on the ground anyway.
So Ablett now, this will test him. It's no gimme, this one. The crowd of bad judges, they're lining up in the centre of the ground. Well, we need to put a big top on this circus. He's got it. It's close. Wait for the goal umpire. I've lost the goal umpire. It's a behind. Oh, well. It was a behind, and they don't even know.
It looked like a goal off the boot. We're thinking this is going to be a nightmare, but it did look like he kicked it. And the minute I went through, I looked at the goal umpire, I thought, oh, he's calling this a point here. Because it swung really late. But it was looking like it was going straight through the middle, and it swung really late.
Of course, it was amazing when it didn't go through for 6 points, how many people already had said, no, that's a goal.
Yeah, there was people everywhere, and coming down here, it was, Geelong people are always a bit different, and they just wanted to get out there and celebrate with Gaz.
Gary Ablett's probably got reason to feel a little afraid now, because he's thinking to himself, if this happens after I kick a point, what's going to happen? Exactly.
Yeah, it was a bit of a circus.
I think it was one of the real unusual ones. I think we've seen, we're used to people running on the ground with 100, but we're not used to running on the ground for a point.
And I believe there was a few other people that were on the ground who may have become quite noticeable in years to come.
Took a young disabled boy down to Geelong one day when Gary Ablett kicked his 100th against the Sydney Swans. Young mate Nick wanted to run out onto the ground, so I had to take him out there to look after him. There was about four or five ex-North Melbourne players playing for Geelong at the time, Darren Steele and Brad Scholl and Timmy McGrath and Lee Tudor, Liam Pickering.
I remember standing there thinking, is that Alistair Clarkson? And sure enough, Clarko's jogging past.
And they thought I was out on the ground to give Gazza a pat on the back.
I said, what are you doing out here? And Clarko's response was, oh, he's got away from me, the young fella. So I think Clarko got a little bit of a lift from the few of the boys.
Something along the lines of, what are you doing here, past? Yous aren't good enough to be here. You ever got a bloke who can kick 100 goals in your team, so get off?
The ground announcer is clearly saying get back, and he hasn't kicked his 100.
And then it was trying to get him off was an absolute disaster.
I was at the other end, so I'd ran and he missed, and everyone was sort of over the halfway mark, over the halfway of the ground, which was an absolute pisser. But no one wanted to get off. It was the blokes on the players that were playing, it was just, everyone was laughing.
The umpire's not going to allow this game to restart until this mob get over the fence.
Probably 2,000 people on the ground and no real security around the players. So anyway, you just got on with it. We knew we then had to do it all again, which ended up being in the next quarter, in the third quarter.
About 10-minute mark of the third quarter, I think he kicked it, and it was probably a relief for me as well, knowing that he actually got it, so I could just play the game out.
Shane Brewer, I reckon, hit him on the chest, and he kicked one of his 100th and one of his 7th of the day.
Couch has been superb. His first hand pass of the afternoon. Back to Brewer. who goes looking for and finds Ablett. Now this should be it. So Ablett for the century. He's got it. It's all over. And I think he's glad about it.
It probably was an anticlimax because purely and simply there'd been so much excitement for the pre-build-up, if you like.
Yeah, the second time it took him longer because he obviously kicked 100 and more people obviously wanted to be around him and there were people trying to get photos and yeah, it was quite interesting.
It probably was bizarre in that it took a couple of actual repeat efforts to get the job done, but we've had pigs run on the ground, we've had obviously the old horses out there at Waverley Park where they'd leave their damage on the ground. And true to his nature though, he just took it in his stride and got on with the job of kicking goals, and that's what Gary Ablett loved to do, was kick goals for the Geelong Footy Club.
Well, if it was going to happen to anybody, it would happen to Gary. He just had the ability to attract, whether it was the freakish mark, the freakish goal, and in this situation, the freakish crowd invasion. We've never seen that before, and we'll probably never see it again.